Hello guys, I'm still I'm still in the same location, getting ready to film the second part of my story. See, the full moon is up right there, but this other story, I gotta see where I'm walking. This other story comes from the Navajo reservation. There was a travel nurse, a Balagana travel nurse, and her husband that were going to Chinle. She was going to start work there in Chinle, and they were traveling from another state, and they were driving late at night. They were driving late at night. Middle of nowhere. They were coming from in between Rock Point and I guess getting closer to Lukajagay turnoff, where the store is, that old Conoco store. I don't know if it's still there, but she was driving through there with her and her husband, getting ready to get into Chinle, and she was gonna work at the hospital there. I still hear something. I'm trying to get out of this wind. And as they were driving, in the middle of nowhere, there's this they were driving in the middle of nowhere. It was pitch black where they were at, and they were on the road by themselves. They were on the road by themselves. Okay, I keep pausing, so I'm gonna go with the story now. So they were on the road by themselves, and they were driving on this road. Pitch black. She said the moon was out, just like this one right here, a full moon. There wasn't a clear sky. There was some clouds, and the reflection off the clouds. She said the sky looked nice. It was beautiful. It was during the summertime, and they were driving, minding their own business, listening to the radio, talking about how exciting it is to gonna work in Chinle, look at the canyons, and excited just to be in Chinle itself. So they were really looking forward to it, because she's a travel nurse and her husband usually travels with her. So they were driving on this long stretch of road, and he was like, man, is this how far Chinle is? How far do we have to go? And I guess their GPS was saying, like another hour and 15 minutes or whatever. So they kept driving, and she said, on the road, they noticed like what they thought were like water stains And then she asked her husband, she goes, did it rain? Did it just rain hard over here? And he's like, I only see like water spots here and there. It's not like everywhere. And then she goes, it looks weird. It's like just on certain parts of the road. And he goes, I don't see any water anywhere. Like if it was raining, you know, the whole road would have been wet. So she goes, they kept driving and they seen a bigger puddle. This time it was a dark puddle. The puddle was darker, so he slowed down and he kind of looked at it. They slowed down, they drove, and then he turned on his flashlight and he goes, honey, he goes, that's blood. And she goes, what? He goes, that looks like blood. He goes, somebody get hit? Or she goes, I didn't see no animals around here. She goes, it looks like someone slaughtered a cow or a horse or something right here. There's just so much blood. And then she's like, just keep driving. She's like, just keep driving. They came up to this figure. Let me show you where I'm walking again. So they were driving after he stopped and he was like looking at the blood, and she's like, I don't see anything beside the road. And she's like, just go. She goes, just keep going. She goes, don't stop for anything, because I don't see anything. And then they didn't think of anything as far as again, you know, skinwalkers or anything like that. They're just like, let's just go. So they're like, okay. And then they left. They kept driving about like another mile and a half down the road. Her husband goes, there's someone standing right there. He goes, we're coming up to them. She goes, can you see them? And she's like looking at him. She's like, this guy just like was wearing like a cloth or like animal skin, like I guess it was what was ever on the road, like a hide. He was wearing a hide, and she described it as furry and just like bloody. She said they were coming up to him, and it was a full moon, so they could see it just driving up the road, and they can see him. And then come to figure, he was like standing in the middle of the road, and he had like that hide or whatever was just dripping blood. And I guess he was like looking up, like the moon was right above him, and he's just standing there just like this. And she said they got closer, and that didn't even faze him. They got closer, it didn't faze him. He didn't move. He didn't seem to do anything. And I guess he had to slow down because he was in the middle of the road. And I guess right when they drove slow enough, he kept his windows up, but they drove slow enough, he still didn't look. He was just like in a trance, just like this. She said he had like white face paint, he had blood on his face, and he was just like looking up. And then she said all of a sudden he just went like this and just looked at him like that. And she said she felt the biggest chills or goosebumps that you could get on your arms. As soon as that happened, I guess her husband felt the same thing, and they took off. He stepped on it and he drove off. And by the time they got to the store that's in Look Country Great Turnoff, I guess it was, they had a worker that was there, but they got gas, and you know, they're telling this worker, oh yeah, you know, there's something down there. There's like, you know, like 3 miles down the road. and they were like, oh yeah, you know, we don't want to go drive back that way, we don't want to drive the Chinle, and we don't want to drive anywhere no more. And I guess the co-worker was like, yeah, you know, what you guys saw was the Skinwalker, and that's common around here. But and even the worker that was there got scared, and she was like, you know, we only have one person that works here, and I guess since she was Navajo, she knew all about that. She said she was closing up the store, and I guess the manager there, I guess, lives in the trailer right behind the store. So she was like, I'm just giving these keys to the manager, I'm closing up. Is there? Oh man. So I don't know if she ever closed up, but they said they finally just got the courage and just drove to Chinle, just windows up, sped as fast as they can, and just didn't even freeze to like look on the side of the road. They're just like, just look straight all the way to Chinle. And they drove all the way to Chinle, that through Del Muerto, and she got to share her stories with the workers at the hospital, and everybody said the same thing. You know, you guys saw a Skinwalker. But thank you guys for joining me on this second story. I want to keep this thing going. I got some other stories I got to tell. I just never really told stories throughout the whole channel, but I just kind of want to make this a little bit different. I'm going to do different situations, different scenarios here. And where I'm at, it's kind of creepy. There's a full moon. It's like I hear things, but I don't know how far this light will go if you guys can see it. If I look to my left, it's pitch black. When I was near those rocks earlier, it was just black. This full moon is kind of helping right now. But thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for this story. And I got quite a few more stories to tell, but I didn't want to do it throughout this whole year. I was just saving it, holding on to some of them. And I got some I got some stories that people want me to tell, so I'll be telling those stories as well. And some of them are from my childhood experience. A lot of crazy things in Chinle, I'm telling you. Coach 5515 is right when he talks about Chinle. That place is like almost the #1 area. And thank you guys for this scary story. Even though I'm not talking straight through it, I just pause and I just keep looking around. I'm just like, what's that? What does that sound? See, now it's just nice and quiet. But thank you guys for joining me. And if you guys like stories like this and stories where I'm out of my comfort zone and doing something like this, give me a thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. And if we get over 100 thumbs up on these videos where I'm like out of my area and not in the home and telling these stories, you know, I'll continue to go out and tell stories in the dark where it feels like it's creepy, or maybe I'll go walk a trail at night and see what we can see, walk around. I got a hunt going on with Shane Ballou coming up here pretty soon, so thank you guys. And if you guys want to see more stories like this out of my zone, give me a thumbs up on this video. At least 100. We'll start off with 100. And hello? Hello? That's it, guys. So we'll see you guys on their next video. I can't even see where I'm going. We'll see you guys in our next video, and give us 100 thumbs up, and I'll keep going out of my zone, and I'll do stuff like this somewhere outside. Bye.